The Multicultural Framework Review is a generational reform agenda requiring a whole-of-government and community approach that will position Australia to realise its full potential as a nation made up of many cultures, faiths and lived experiences. We often rightly call out anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, but too rarely racism, and especially racist policy. The review called on the government and all citizens to actively combat racism, which is still experienced by far too many. How will you ensure policies do not prejudice and lead to vilification of minority groups?
The call to the Leader of the House.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Warringah for the question. The Multicultural Framework is an important document following a long period of consultation, and I pay tribute to the Minister for Skills for all the work that he did in making sure that we have that available for Australia. It starts with a simple view that we are better together. That's the simplicity of it. That the fact that we need, quite properly, to have rules around making sure everybody is safe does not disqualify us from also making sure people feel welcome. And so you have a series of issues. One are the messages that the government sends. Simply having the multicultural framework at all is an important thing. Secondly, some of the funding measures that have been decided on that flow from that give particularly some of the emerging communities a better capacity is important work as well. And effectively you end up with three sorts of events. You get some events where people get to celebrate their heritage, other events where it's one big celebration and we all celebrate it together, and other opportunities to learn from each other and to understand each other's stories, and you need to thread through all of those. But the other part of it, which is we've spoken about the way we talk, and you've referred to racism, but the way we talk very much in the context of the recommendations from the Director-General of ASIA. And that's important. It's also a conversation that really did begin long before that. And if there is one thing that I hope we have now resolved, I hope we have put away the arguments that we had to deal with for 9 long years of being told that we needed to lower our protections against racial hate speech. And those comments were made by some people who are now very senior critics. It was the Leader of the Opposition who wanted those protections lowered and said they don't want, the Australian people don't want to have officials out of Canberra jamming some sort of language code down their throat. That was the response to hate speech. Senator Patterson said if it was up to me, we'd put an 18C repeal bill every day of the week until it passes. The now Shadow Minister for Defence said that's why we have defamation law. We don't need 18C to sort these issues out. And I put to those who are in a similar position to me and to the member for Warringah, neither you nor me, member for Warringah, will experience racism at any point in our lives in Australia. But our neighbours will and our friends will. And words can be bullets. And what might seem like a great way for some people to get a headline, none of us should underestimate the harm it does not just to those individuals but to the fabric of the nation.